All right. So how's everyone doing tonight? Is it Sunday? Is it Sunday? Is it Sunday? Yeah, I think it's Sunday. It's Sunday. What did you guys do today? Did you do anything fun? Hi, YouTube. Why did I go? Hey, gamer. Why did I go live on both things? I don't know why I did that, but because why not? Why not? Sunday fun day. I thought we could do a little reading. Was I live last night? Honestly. All right. So I'm trying to map out like a big summer trip. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, so good to see you. Nana Lou, so good to see you. I'm trying to map out a summer trip for next summer. I'm always thinking like 8, 9, 10 months ahead. Hey, Tracy. Where am I heading? Okay, first I'm going to Unalaska. Unalaska. Then I need to look at the map and figure out which city would be best to travel to next. Would it be? Because I've got some friends that I want to see. All right, let's do some directions. Let's do some directions, okay? Should we do some reading tonight? I know that Valerie is on. Valerie, I know you would love it if I did a chapter 5 reading. Was it last night? I don't even know the days anymore. Like, oh, there we go. Add destination. All right. So we're doing that. We're doing that. Let's see. Let's do Illinois. All right. What's that looking like? Let's see what that's looking like. All right. Close. All right. We're good on the route destinations. Well, that doesn't actually seem to be like a good choice. But if I did, do I know anybody in? Oh, but if I went to Memphis, is this an anonymous AMA? No. I mean, I don't know how to do anonymous AMAs on live. How do you do that, Courtney? Oh, no. Courtney, you're on my live. Oh, no. Oh, God. I'm just trying to think. Why is this country so stupid big? You were being an ass. That fits for you. All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to hang out for about 10 minutes. We can do an AMA if anybody has anything to ask me. If not, I'm going to try to get into this ice cream. I'm too impatient to let it melt a little bit. It's the Tonight Dough. Nobody asked, but it's the Tonight Dough. So good. Share this live because I am going to read on you. I'm going to get off of Instagram to do the reading. AMA is Ask Me Anything, Lori. Like, obviously within reason, right? I'm not trying to get too personal up in here. You know, I always feel like AMAs are weird because it's like, it's assuming that you guys care enough about who I am. Are you reading chapter 5 tonight? I am. Michelle, I'm actually live on YouTube as well right now because who do I think I am? Jessie Lee Ward. What is it like being so powerful? I don't know. I don't know that I'm powerful at all. YouTube friends always asked, what's it like to be so powerful? I'm not powerful in the least. I think that people who are powerful just know exactly how behavior, like they understand predictable behavior. And I think that I'm at least at the point in my life where I'm able to identify predictable behavior predictable actions, predictable responses, and predict them. I think that that's the point I'm at in my life. And if that makes me powerful, then okay, whatevs. But I appreciate the question. So yes, I'm going to read chapter 3 here in a little bit. I really want to do like a big country road trip next summer, but that's going to be expensive. Do we think gas prices are going to go down by next summer? Maybe if I move you guys right here, that'll make it a little easier for me. Okay, that's much better. Do we think gas prices will go down by next summer? Because I would really love it if they did, so that I could do what I want to do. Okay, let's add this destination. Yeah, I can only hope. Thanks a lot, Biden. All right, what would be the best way to do this? Oh, that's not the best way to do this at all. That might be the best way to do this. Let's see. I did a cross-country trip with my brother and it was so much fun. Yeah, I really want to. Like, I want to take the kids and plan this for like 3 weeks or like a month, you know, get a house sitter for a whole month and then just like pack up and drive. Tina, you were up in my comments today. I like just really read them all. So funny. Your destination is in a different time zone. Yeah, no, thank you. I understand. Do I know anyone in Texas? Not that I really want to go to Texas because like Texas can just suck it. All right. Instagram. I'm going to just hop off of here. I'm going to go stay on YouTube and I will talk to y'all later. Haters. All right, YouTube, all yours. It's just Carrie, like me and Carrie were talking about it. I was like, what is happening? Like 2 people. 2 people decided that news episode. I think since I just read it, I just read the whole thing. Here are my takeaways. Takeaway number 1. Commenting on public situations is not inserting oneself into drama. CNN comments on public situations all the time. Like I am creating a newscast show, essentially. So in doing so, as the producer, yeah, that's true, Carrie. As the producer of my own show, I don't have somebody to edit out what I think is going to be quality content. I run some things by some people. But, you know, I'm my own producer of my own news show. So it's a news show, right? Something happens that I think is worth commenting on because it's funny. I'm going to comment on it because it's funny. And that's not inserting yourself in the drama. Especially when I went to great lengths to make sure that it was anonymous. And then those people almost did exactly what I guess I should have expected they would do. They'd be like, that's me. Well, yeah. I mean, nobody, it's just funny. And then people came to their defense, like two people. I don't know. Maybe me going live about this. I wasn't going live about it. Right. It was purely for entertainment's sake. And then people were like, get over me. Okay. Gladly. I'm over you. All right. Chapter 5. No guts, no story. Shall we continue? Go get yourself a beverage. I have some like 7-Up cherry with gin. I don't know what I'm drinking. I've got some Ben & Jerry's, the Tonight Dough. It's good. It's real good. Vacation starts tomorrow. I mean, I'm a teacher, so I've been on vacation. Yeah, so let's get back to an even bigger train wreck. Barb. Someone asked me today, Carrie, was it you? If I think that Barb watches these. You talking about Feetgate? Megan, I was briefly discussing the comment section. Apparently, the people involved have been all up in their stories about it. I don't know that because I don't follow them. Like I have to go to not great lengths, but like I have to go to my personal account to even like look at stuff. And I even pieced the sequence of the story together when I was really drunk, and I was like, this is hysterical. This is so funny. And then, you know, they all like were like, let's prove her point. Whatever. Anyhow, I got a snarky response from someone who told me to stop eating when I'm on camera. I'm really sorry. I'm fat. I'm a fatty. I love to eat. And this ice cream is so good. So like, I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to offend you. But people are like, please don't eat when you're on camera. Think about us. I'm going to think about myself. I spend 99% of my life thinking about other people. So if I want to eat while I'm doing this. All right. So the last chapter 4, let's recap. Chapter 4 was quite literally just about her joining the business that ultimately changed her life forever. Oh, eat on every video. It's just going to get crunchier and crunchier too. Like I'm going to just like move on to like Doritos and granola. And I just watch my subscribers drop. All right. So I said last night, take a shot. Yes, Megan, ice cream is absolutely necessary for survival. So we're going to take a shot, take a drink every time Barb says that something changed her life. And if you're not drinking because you're sober, which kudos to you. I actually don't drink much anymore. Eat something or exercise or run a lap. I don't know. All right. And to also recap, she spent this entire chapter 4, talking about the new business, never once naming it. And in the first sentence, she will also not name it. So chapter 5, I have chocolate ice cream all over the pages already. Oh my God. Define your dreams. Can y'all hear me good? Hold on a second. Let me just make sure that my audio, you probably can. Okay. Are we good? Are we good? All right, here we go. The first month Dave and I were in the home-based business, that was his idea. I had a lot of growing to do. I had listened to some training tapes, but what truly got us both plugged into the system that turned our finances around happened during a road trip to deliver Dave's wholesale solid oak furniture to out-of-state stores. No matter what, no, wait a minute. Didn't he say in a previous chapter that, somebody else was selling the oak furniture and they were reselling it? Whatever. No matter what you choose for your career, you need some training to get yourself on the road to success. The best training is usually not found in school, but from your hands-on experiences and the lessons you learn from a mentor who is teaching you as you grow. That is partially true, but let's not completely just take a giant dump on education. Okay, training and education is essential, but it is also not the same as in the field experience. When we drove to South Dakota and Iowa together delivering furniture, we had the 2 babies in car seats that made it rough to listen to the information on training tapes. But somehow we managed to have quite a paradigm shift. The tapes were an 8-step series that took us from defining our dream to teaching others to duplicate this in our organization. This was not a new theory. It was the very training I listened to in 1988 and 1989 as I graduated from high school and tried to pursue a network marketing career to help me afford my college education. It was hard to absorb this information and not have that syndrome of, here we go again. Why are my dogs freaking out? If here we go again, but this time I was ready for the information. This time I had a burning desire and a need for the finances I dreamed of achieving. There is nothing wrong with failing in business because you learn so much with every failure. I felt like I was ahead of the curve as we listened to the training tapes. If only I could believe that it was going to work. Together, Dave and I went through the steps and we followed their system. The first step was pretty simple for me. It was to define your dream and get a burning desire for its achievement. I always warned Dave, don't fall in love with a dreamer. From the first night we met and during the road trip we took to Kansas City and Missouri, I would take him off the beaten path to some gated community to see my dream homes. A gated community is not off the beaten path. A gated community is just like right where, no, that's not off the beaten path. The gate, never mind. Where was I? I am surprised he didn't get scared and run, thinking he could never afford something of that caliber. Not Dave. He was determined, and this was the vehicle he believed would help him get all of his dreams. At that time, his dream was to rodeo full time. I mean, like we know. He wanted to ride in the PRCA World Finals Rodeo. He drew out the arena. He visualized the Las Vegas event as if it was real, and he even imagined them calling his name. I believed he could do it, but I was scared to risk it. I didn't know how to tell him I loved him unconditionally, but it killed me to see him making a living on the back of a bull that wanted to kill him. Am I reading the same chapter again? I didn't want to steal his dream. I encouraged by saying, as soon as we make $10,000 a month, you are free to quit working and hit the road. He agreed. All right, now hold on. We got to do a little research here. Hold on, let's just do a little research. Average income of a professional bull rider. Get out of here. $64,000 is the U.S. average. The high end is $187,000. But like, how many bull? Oh no, ice cream down. Okay. How many professional bull riders are there? Great. 500. More than 500 bull riders from around the world, including the United States. Just 500. It's not a really big market. How lucrative is professional bull riding? Although bull riding is a popular hobby, those who excel at the sport can make a career out of it. The salary range for a typical bull rider is $19,910 to $187,200, averaging out at $64,000. That's just not sustainable, though. What about in 1994? I don't know. Hello and goodbye, Michelle. Okay, where was I? It was hard for me to define a dream and not feel like a fool because all that I could think about was my current situation. Listen, if you don't know how to create a dream board, then clearly you did not grow up in the 80s and 90s, because as 90s children, our bedrooms were dream boards, and they were dream boards that were plastered from floor to ceiling of pictures of the Backstreet Boys. In sync, for me, it was Hanson. They were dream boards where we believed in our dream that we were going to one day marry the most prominent face that appeared in that bedroom. That was our dream board. So obviously, but she would say, well, I didn't have a bedroom. I didn't have walls. Magazines. What's that? What's Teen Beat? I was scared to get my hopes up because what if it didn't work? She's literally just saying the same thing over and over again. The guy Dave was listening to had millions of dollars, and he kept talking about our thoughts and how powerful they are. I was listening to tapes that I thought were so corny, and I was feeling better than I had ever felt. As I was writing down my goals, the man on the tape mentioned some statistics that stuck with me every day. 99% of our thoughts are from the past, and only 1% of the thoughts, and only 1% of the thousands of thoughts in our mind each day are actually about the future. Says who? Where is this statistic from? You can't just throw out, you know what? Here's a statistic. 100% of my viewers are watching me right now. Her board was covered in vitamin N, Valerie. That's funny. No wonder it is hard to dream. All that our minds can think about is what happened last time, or what came in the mail at noon, or what current financial or personal challenges you are facing. People don't realize that these situations are only temporary, and there is always a rainbow after every storm. There really is not always a rainbow after every storm. Like, it's just not like technically true. It's how we deal with these challenges and the thoughts that consume our mind that determine if we become successful or continue to struggle. The fears in our mind are often based on events that have happened in our past lives and truly have nothing to do with the present. I set a goal to pay for daycare and to be able to fix our front door. Front door. I dreamed of getting a new shower curtain ensemble and bathroom set and a fence that wasn't falling down. Yes, we made a lot of money at the salon and dance school, and Dave's furniture business could turn $30,000 or $40,000 a month in inventory. But although we were moving a lot of income while being self-employed, there was never any left for ourselves. How? What? What are you doing? We were never home before dark, and we dropped the kids off each morning at daycare before the sun came up. More of our income was going towards daycare than there was for me to spend on necessities or things I wanted. That doesn't math out. That math ain't mathin'. We made a lot of money. We made a lot of money at the salon and dance school, and Dave's furniture business could turn $30,000 or $40,000 a month in inventory. And you don't have enough money for essentials? No, I don't believe that. I was becoming more and more enthusiastic each day as I listened to those training tapes. The amazing thing was that we were paying $35 a month for 2 audio cassettes, and I could hardly afford gas for my car. What? I had no idea how valuable those tapes were at the time. It was one more thing for me to be hung up about. I just tried not to think about the money we were spending and to believe that this would work. Every month we had to purchase a minimum of $100 in products that were for our personal consumption and for any customers that ordered under our number. Like, what? In addition to that, our overhead included the monthly training audios. I now think of the knowledge gained from this as getting a master's degree in network marketing. Ma'am, you do not have a master's degree in network marketing at all. Many people go to school to get an education and never make the incomes that people are able to earn in the home-based business industry. Now that I know the value of the training, $35 is a low price to pay to be trained by experts in the field. But at the time, $35 was a bunch of money to me. I would close my mind and do the exercises about my dreams and goals. What is an exercise? How do you close your mind and do exercises about your dreams and goals? I will fly. I will fly. I will fly. I will marry Taylor Hanson. I will marry Taylor Hanson, even though he's married and I'm married and we both have children and families and we both have sustainable careers. I am going to marry Taylor Hanson. It doesn't work that way. I'm never going to marry Taylor Hanson. For a minute, I could almost imagine it so vividly that I forgot about the things that caused me to worry. If money was no object, what would I do? What would you do?
Just imagine someone telling you that you could make $30,000 a month and that you could meet the people that were making that kind of money. I threatened to streak down our local main street, screaming and knocking the mailman over as he handed me the check when my income hit $30,000 a month. Wait, what? I threatened to streak down our local main street, screaming and knock the mailman over as he handed me the check when my income hit $30,000 a month. Okay. Sorry, Bunny. I do always look gorgeous. Even when I am at my lowest point, I am gorgeous. And I don't say that to be conceited. I say that because I believe that. I believe that we are all gorgeous in all of our forms, dirty, run down, made up, gorgeous. Thank you. I can't wait to hear that I'm conceited, bitch. Bunny, you are gorgeous, no matter what. Okay. It is the only reason I didn't pack up our box and get a refund the first night when nobody showed up at our meeting. I believe it is what makes or breaks people getting involved in their own business, because they are their own boss and they have to know what drives them to reach their success. False, you are not your own boss. It is not like going to work and punching a clock. When you are your own boss, you have to be driven by something that stirs you. I started with some realistic short-term goals. I could not imagine what it would be like when we hit our first goal in the business and I could take care of some of those old bills in the drawer. Or better yet, I imagined what it would be like to pay cash for groceries instead of using a check I hoped would not hit the bank until after the weekend. When we set up our handmade furniture and crafts in parks on the weekends, it wasn't easy. It was normally dark in the park. Dark in the park, dark in the park. Less talking, more chewing. Sorry, hold on. Let me take an ice cream bite. You're so funny. Courtney, stop being so problematic. Okay. Thank you. I will use your tip to go buy more ice cream. Where was I? Dark in the park. It was normally dark in the park, and we had 2 babies with us. Like, this is what I can't wrap my head around. The schedule, like, these babies had no schedule. There are plenty of times where I'm like, I don't give a shit about, like, if my baby doesn't get a nap today, she's not going to get a nap today. We're going to do what we want to do. But, like, that's not like a normal thing, okay? Anyhow, I'm not about to start mom shaming because I really do not approve of that. We always tried to beat the competition with our displays in order to attract the craft show attendees to our booth to sell our holiday decor or wooden benches. I still could not believe how hard we worked, and especially on those days that we set up with a poor crowd showing or had no customers at all. Other weekends, we would set up and sell out before noon. It's just business when you look at that traditional entrepreneur starting something with a goal to make some money. What a terrible word sentence. Most new businesses don't focus much on immediate results. People expect to spend money up front to make money in any business they start. The average business owner doesn't make a profit until he's spent 5 years of hard work building up his business. I was used to working hard in a traditional business. I had learned to spend money and sacrifice time and money in order to build something profitable. Why would I expect a home-based business to be any different? This is what I found when looking at the average small home-based business startup cost and comparing it to others. Startup of Dave's woodworking business. Oh, she's got charts. Not really charts. I don't think she knows how to make a chart. But let's see. She breaks it down. The startup of Dave's woodworking business. $5,000 in power tools and wood to start. $500 in advertising to get some customers. $1,000 a month in entry fees to set up for retail shows. No guarantees. Startup cost of my salon in 1991. $3,500 for the 175 square foot trailer house. $4,000 in training. $5,000 in inventory. 18 months of 8-hour days at school. Some days I would make no money. Other days I would work 10 hours and make $300, but I had to figure in overhead, daycare, insurance, and time, which left me with about 30% of the actual earned dollar. Startup costs of a coffee bar Dave and I opened in 1995. Oh my God, she never mentioned a coffee bar. $3,500 for machine, $3,000 for tables and chairs, $350 for the neon sign, almost as much as a home-based business. $1,500 in inventory and promotion. She's leaving out a lot of things that you need to start up a business. Like this is like just a gross generalization. At the coffee bar in our little town, some days were good, others were slow. Add up the amount of $4 coffees you have to sell, less your expenses, to recoup your $10,000 investment. Then try to hire an employee and afford to stay open. We put the coffee bar right in the middle of the building that housed the salon. So the salon is in the middle of a trailer house. So the coffee bar is in the middle of the trailer house. I've been in trailers. I know what trailer houses are like. I've been in salons that are inside trailers. So you put this in the middle of the trailer? That's not okay. The furniture and the craft store consignments and Dave's working room shop was about 50 feet away in the back room of this old building. Hold on. Yeah, coffee was not $4 back in the 1990s. That's another good point. Even like fancy, and they didn't have floofy fancy ones. Hold on. She said $3,500 for the 175 square foot trailer house for her salon. But in this building, we put the coffee bar right in the middle of the building that housed the salon, the furniture, the craft store consignments, and Dave's woodworking shop was about 50 feet away in the back room of this old building. You said it was a trailer house. You could get your hair done, listen to the saws, smell the furniture stripper, and get a latte all while your perm was processing. Oh, God, I don't want to go there. What a delightful experience. Looking back now, it was called survival, and I have no idea how we survived. We had small businesses, and we started on our own without a lot of collateral. I have talked to people who went to school and graduated owning $40,000 to $140,000 in student loans. One chiropractor that I talked to owed over $100,000 in student loans and borrowed that much again to open his practice, only to try and build up a base of clients and patients. No matter what your situation is, any business you open takes an investment of your time and your money. Yes. No kidding. In most businesses, you still have a job where you have to show up. Think about the time some of the top paying jobs require. Can you imagine being a doctor on call or an attorney working on long cases that last for weeks on end? It's one thing to be in business for yourself and to be successful. It's another thing to leverage your time and your money to the point that you are truly free. Hold on. Can you imagine being a doctor on call? Doctors become doctors knowing that that is part of the job, that there are times in the month that they will be on call. And sometimes being on call will lead to not having to do anything. And sometimes being on call will lead to them having to run into the emergency room. And sometimes being on call is literally just calling people back. That's not terrible. Like she's really, and lawyers being on trial, like they like to do that. That's why people become lawyers. All right, let's back up for a second. It's one thing to be in business for yourself and to be successful. It's another thing to leverage your time and your money to the point that you are truly free. I was learning the difference in what success meant to me. To each person, success may mean a totally different thing. I learned to define success and pinpoint what it was that would make me tick. Dave and I were totally different, but we both had the vehicle that would help us to reach our destination. Anything you do takes time and money. God, this is just like, it's regurgitated nonsense. Most people do not have a lot of extra time or any money to spare. What else can you start a business for less than $1,000 or even $1,000 investment and make your money back in the first month or two? What if it took a year? I never realized how fortunate I was to have an opportunity in my hands that allowed that. I was taught hard work was the only way, and I was not afraid of working harder. I had to learn to work smarter instead of working harder. Leveraging your time was something I had always heard, and I was about to understand exactly what that meant. The next Tuesday night came quickly, and we had shown the video to several people. Some people thought we were crazy for joining something like that. I didn't get a lot of support from family. In fact, they laughed. My mom couldn't believe I had spent that kind of money and couldn't even pay my bills. Right, that's the problem. You found $1,000 to join a pyramid scheme, but you didn't think about paying your bills? I was nice and just kept her informed, even though I wanted to tell them that if they would have supported me, I wouldn't have to worry about money. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. My previous sponsor in another business was open to the idea after I approached him 3 times in 1 week and did not give up until he agreed to at least watch the video. He said he would come to the meeting, but wouldn't promise me anything. I was so enthusiastic, and I told the story like I was taught, in a way that he couldn't resist. Jeff, I know you think I'm crazy. We've done this before, but I gotta tell you what happened. Dave went to a meeting and joined the business without me, and I was so skeptical. We have no time, no money, and quite honestly, I have nobody else to call and approach. This is so different than anything I've ever seen. We have support that is unbelievable and training from people who are actually making $20,000 and $30,000 a month. You have to see this. I think we are going to get rich. Buddy, you better run. The upline is the group of people who are directly above you in the business structure. Oh, is she about to describe the pyramid? These people are the people who benefit from your success and everything you are building. Let me reread that. These people are the people who benefit from your success and everything you are building. Therefore, they should help you in any way and should support you in your business building activities. It's not always that way. And in a lot of companies, I didn't have that kind of support. Knowing what I know now, I realize how important it is to have support from the people in your upline. It was so exciting to see that kind of support and training, from those who were actually successful. This company was so different from the others because there was no inventory, no door-to-door sales, no paperwork, but you did have to buy $100 a month. And the most exciting thing to me was that the pay plan was structured different from anything I had ever seen. In most companies, everyone you sponsor goes directly under you. And basically, if you never sponsor anyone, you never make any money. But if you sponsor a lot of people, it all benefits you. In this plan, it was such a revolutionary concept because your first 4 people went directly under you. But after that, everyone else spilled to fill in under your first 4 friends. Therefore, those first 4 would benefit from everything you ever did. It was so exciting when I thought even my lazy relatives could succeed in this. It's a no-brainer. The other thing was that all you had to do to qualify for all the main bonuses was to sponsor 4 people. And that was something that almost everyone could do, of course, until you run out of people in the world. It was unlike most companies where you have to be continually finding people to enroll or you don't get paid. I called my best friend and told her the same thing. Tina, I know you must think I'm crazy after all we've been through, but we fell into something that has me so excited. I can't even sleep at night. Tina, all the things we dreamed about can happen with this plan. It has solved all of the headaches in network marketing. You owe it to yourself to at least look at it. If you have no interest, that is 100% again, okay. But it doesn't cost anything to look, just window shop. I was optimistic this time, and I had confidence that people would show up at our meeting. We had a lot of seeds planted with potential people and had received some commitments. We hadn't used the whole case of videos, but we were definitely getting them out the door. We were showing everybody what we were doing. No profit is made on the selling aids, but purchasing them was an important investment to make to get our business off the ground. Isn't that so funny? In a normal business, you sell product and that gets your business off the ground. But in this business, you sell these tapes to get people to invest in the business, and that's what gets you off the ground. We mailed some to Nebraska and Kansas City. We called people from high school and some from college. We made a 3 to 4 page list of people and we added new names to the list daily. Dave would bring his tablet to bed with us, and every night we would brainstorm who we could call the next day. That day, like that just gives me anxiety. Like that's the work. That's the work that you're doing. There are no computers back then. It was all paperwork, old-fashioned fax machines. She clearly thinks we can't keep track of the time frame. Well, there were computers in the 90s, just not everybody had them. If she was as poor as she was, she definitely didn't have them. That day, Chris, the girl at the salon, gave Dave her credit card to join. She was the first person we recruited, and his mother faxed her application in the same week. I couldn't believe it. His mother, Dave's mother. It was working for him, and people were getting excited. Dave never said a whole lot, but when people saw him this excited about something, they definitely gave him their attention. Some laughed, some flat out said they weren't interested, and others had questions we couldn't answer. We told everyone to come to the meeting at our house. That Tuesday came, and once again, nobody came to our house. I was amazed. What were we doing wrong? I was so upset. My roller coaster had been so high, and now I felt like I was coming to a halt where they undo your harness and ask you, how did you like your ride? I was scared that nobody else would join, but that was not an option. Dave and I already knew exactly what we were going to do with the money. This had to work. We went to the table and sat down with our list of dreams. Why were we doing this business? If we hadn't done this step, I think we would have quit. You have to know why you are waking up and going to work every single day of your life. You must define the very burning desire that will make you jump out of bed in the morning and keep you lying awake, dreaming at night. What is it? There's work. List on paper 50 things you would love to do in the next 5 to 10 years. Of these 50 dreams, which 5 are the most important to you? Here's just like one thing that I would like to do in the next 5 years. Completely dismantle multi-level marketing. Okay, thank you. And that's the end of chapter 5. So in how many pages was this? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. In 7.5 pages, she described 1 week of work where she attempted to recruit someone, but she didn't say change her life forever. Crazy. Right, Michelle. This book was written how cute. It says first edition. Do you think she'll put it out as second edition? Yeah, 2010. 2010. I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. The way that she is describing all of this. All right. So let's discuss. What are our big takeaways from chapter 5? What did we learn in chapter 5? Anybody? Anybody at all? What did we learn in chapter 5? Sorry, my husband sent me a very strange picture. Yeah, we got to cross our fingers for, well, you know what? Just for shits and giggles. Let's just take a little excerpt from The Thinking Cure. Program your mind for success and happiness. You know, I don't want to look at the thanks and acknowledgements. All right. Should we read a little excerpt from Dave's book? Here we go. Introduction. I think she may be telling a story she wasn't present for, like the entire book. Exactly. A thought that repeatedly goes on in my head is, are you afraid of being happy? Or are you just addicted to being in a rut? Read this a few times, and it pretty much sums up how people live in every area of their lives, right in the middle of somewhere, not sure, confused, and asking questions. What is the Thinking Cure, and how is this different than the thousands of personal development and self-help books on the market today? I will answer these questions in this book, but let me give you a few bullet points to get your blood flowing. We talk about the thinking cure and mind weaving in this book. It is not that they are synonyms. It is not that they are synonymous. My apologies. The thinking cure is the entire process, and mind weaving is what you are actually doing to string a line of good thoughts together to actually make them a reality. Most people have a great thought, and then their mind tells them why they can't be great. Most people think happy, and then they go right back to sad, mad, or shy. Most people have a great idea, only to be reminded that it won't work. ... Mind weaving is putting the good string of thoughts together and eliminating the old programs. I don't even think I'll be able to do a series on his book. Here's what I learned in chapter 5. Okay. What I learned was that she admitted to how a pyramid scheme works. She spent 7 pages talking about how nobody showed up to her scam. But she's building up, right, this failure story so that when she's successful and then people come to her and say, no one is showing up, nobody's caring, she can say, well, in my book, No Guts, No Story, I talk about how many times I failed. And eventually it just happened. So that'll happen for you too. That's what she's doing. She's trying to set up this whole idea that like you have, this is what happens in multi-level marketing. They use actual real things that happen in life to apply it to a scam. So like, yes, you do have to fail 1,000 times. You do have to be rejected by company, by shows, by employees, whatever, a lot. Let's see, by 2010, Barb had already been in 6 more MLMs since Nutrition for Life. And she writes this book she owns. And she writes this book as she owns her own MLM, Levinity. Good Lord, everybody. All right. So basically, we are seeing the slow buildup of manipulation using a giant word salad and creating a scenario in which she is suffering, but she's not suffering. She's not suffering at all. Guys, she's not suffering at all. I'm suffering having to read this. Well, I mean, I don't have to read it. I know that the 10 of you that are here every time appreciate it. All right. Anything else that we should talk about tonight? Anything else that we should dive into? Is there any tea that we need to know about? Otherwise, I'm going to go take my contacts out because they are freaking out. My kids are leaving tomorrow to go back to Kentucky with my mother-in-law for a week. And then on Wednesday, my husband and I will drive down and join them. Oh, Michelle, I appreciate you too. I appreciate you just as much. I don't know why this isn't letting me show your comment. Thank you. Sorry, I almost burped right into the microphone. Oh my gosh. It's been a while since I crashed a Zoom. If anybody can get me a link to an innovative nutrition training call or opportunity call, I want to go. I absolutely want to go to an innovation opportunity call. All right, friends, I am going to sign off for the night. Thank you for reading chapter 5 with me. And I will talk to you later in the week, I'm sure. Okay, bye.